Send a text. Wait a minute. Watch the read receipt appear. Now wait an hour. That specific anxiety triggered by a delayed reply is a very recent addition to the human experience. For most of history, distance guaranteed delay. Before 1876, communication moved at the speed of a horse or a train. If someone was physically far away, you accepted that they were unreachable for days or weeks at a time. Being unreachable was a simple fact of geography. It was a physical reality, not a social offense. Alexander Graham Bell's first message to his assistant was a mundane, practical request. "Mr. Watson, come here, I want to see you." The ordinariness of that call is exactly why it was so significant. The telegraph had already allowed long-distance signaling, but it relied on dots and dashes. The telephone transmitted the human voice itself. It carried the personality of the speaker, their hesitation, urgency, humor, and tone. This created the illusion of presence. For the first time, a person sitting alone in a room could hear a voice and feel as if the speaker were standing right next to them. This effectively ended the historical era of human absence. By turning a long-distance wire into a social experience, Bell's invention provided the first functional tool to bridge the gap between physical location and personal contact. The real transformation began when the isolated device became a network. The first commercial exchange opened in New Haven, Connecticut in early 1878, turning a laboratory curiosity into a social machine. This recreation of the first telephone directory shows how localized the network started. With about 50 names and no numbers, operators simply needed a name. Soon, businesses used these expanding webs to resolve problems instantly, accelerating the pace of institutional life. Maintaining this infrastructure required a massive new labor force. Thousands of women were recruited as operators to manually connect calls and manage the growing network. This institutional adoption permanently altered the rhythm of work. Delayed communication started to feel like a failure, and the expectation of an immediate answer became the new baseline for professional life. The phone eventually crossed the threshold of the home. Communication was no longer a destination to reach, it became an interruption in your private sanctuary. This chart tracks the decline of American households without a telephone. In 1960, 1 in 5 homes remained unconnected. By 2000, that share plummeted to just 2.4%. Household lines quietly rewired the logistics of daily existence. Families coordinated schedules, handled emergencies, and conducted courtship without moving through physical space. Urban payphones acted as a bridge. They extended the network into the streets, embedding the requirement of availability into every corner of city life. By the end of the 20th century, lacking a phone meant being entirely cut off from the social and economic fabric of society. Cellular technology severed the cord entirely. Martin Cooper made the first handheld mobile call in 1973, paving the way for consumer devices in the 1980s. This introduced a massive behavioral shift. Calling a number no longer meant calling a physical place. Now, calls were directed to a specific individual anywhere. Work tasks, family obligations, and social demands began to follow people through their daily transit. The gap between being at work and at home started to dissolve as reachability became a personal attribute. The 1992 invention of SMS text messaging pushed this further. It allowed for continuous micro-coordination and instant contact without the demand of a vocal performance. Mobile phones and texting stripped away the last geographical excuses for silence. Constant coordination became an individual expectation rather than a situational choice. The launch of the iPhone in 2007 redefined the word phone. The device absorbed cameras, maps, media players, and the internet. It reorganized the logistics of news, banking, navigation, and shopping around a single object that never leaves the user's side. The consolidation of these essential utilities into one device created a state of absolute structural dependence. Today, 98% of American adults own a cell phone, and 4 in 10 describe their internet use as almost constant. Reachability is no longer a tool, it is the infrastructure of modern existence. We cured the ancient problem of distance, but we destroyed the sanctuary of unreachability in the process. The phone gave us presence, but it took away our ability to be truly absent. Humanity changed the moment our default assumption shifted from, "How can I reach them?" to, "Why aren't they answering?"